Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds and another episode of Budget Bombs!
Powerful win conditions for under $1?
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds, bringing you daily Commander content. If you want to support the daily Commander content, you can subscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe every single day.
I would suggest just staying subscribed if you're already subscribed, but either way, it's fine with me. Also, you can go to patreon.com, support us directly with money. You go there, give us money, and we appreciate it because it helps us grow this channel and get bigger, better, and produce the best content for you.
Yep, and I'm going to steal Joe's TCG player so he can't say that thing that he always says. You can go to the TCG player affiliate link in the description, buy the cards you want, and then when you check out, we're going to get a kickback on the order. And the same is true for Dragon Shield, a topic we can now never move on from. Dragon Shield is the same thing when you go there and buy the best sleeves in the multiverse.
Good sleeves.
That's also going to give us a kickback on the order. And now I think we can basically just move right into the video.
You know what? I'm sad, but I will allow it. And next time I will say my thing. And if you do that again, I will restart this whole thing on you.
Okay.
And I will waste your time. If it wasn't the middle of the morning, I would do it. So let's get into this video. Budget bombs. All right. So we actually got ones for each and every color. At least one example of a budget bomb. Budget bomb win condition. So first color, white. We're going to go in Wooburg order as per usual. Start with a combo. And I liked what we did here. BZ went looking for some combos. I went looking for some individual cards. So we got a little bit of both. We got some combos and we got some individual cards. So to start, two amazing budget bombs individually, but both under $1 that just combo with a sack outlet. It is Karmic Guide, which is your 5 mana, reanimate something when it enters, and Revlark, which is a 5 mana 4/3, and when it leaves, it reanimates stuff. So if you're able to two things, which if you're able to sacrifice these now, you can loop both them back and forth over and over and over again. Add in, actually, budget card, Zulaport Cutthroat if you're in black with that sack outlet, and you're winning the game now.
Yep, it's just one creature that's pretty good by itself. It reanimates anything that's dead. Another creature that's pretty good by itself reanimates two things when it dies. And then they combine to loop any third creature with 2 power or less infinitely, and infinite dies triggers, and infinite ETB triggers. And it's a total of what? 90 cents for both of these? These cards are insane.
Yeah, not only is each individual card under $1, the total combo is under $1. Yeah, you have to add in a sack outlet, but there's literally sack outlets that cost pennies.
Yeah, one of the hardest things to do in a budget deck is close out games quickly or in a reliable fashion, and I think everything on this list is going to get you there.
And especially this one. This one is like, this is
Slam
one.
dunk.
What is it?
Slam dunk.
Exactly. We're going to play this outside of budget. Like,
yeah.
We're going to play this in higher power decks because both these cards being individually good, but comboing just is that much better.
Next, we're going to scale back on the slam dunkiness and go to Nykthos Paragon, which is a 6 mana 4/6. Whenever you gain life, once per turn, you can put that many +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. So if I slam this and then I gain 1 life off of Soul Warden, +1/+1 to my whole team. Or if I play like some dumb sorcery that says gain 5, I get +5/+5 if I want. And then every single thing in between or better than that. This can just be a weird white life gain overrun.
Yeah, exactly. And the numbers start getting ludicrous really, really fast. That's what makes this thing so good. Like, putting like 2 counters on our team, that's not going to be a win con. Sure, it's a good way to pay off your tokens. It's pretty strong. But the fact is, we can play this. If we get to untap with it, we have 3-4 creatures, and we can Heliod's Intervention, a very playable life gain card. Just pay it for 5. Just for 5, which would be on curve because you just played 6 mana, so now you're up to 7 mana.
Which is 10.
Which is gain 10 life, put 10 counters on my whole team. Those are game-winning numbers now.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting a couple counters is not a game winner. I wouldn't put that under finishers, but Paragon's numbers get so big so fast. With a Soul Warden alone on the board, you can reliably say each player is going to play at least 1 creature, right? Every turn. Like, that is, in a game of Commander, especially on a budget game of Commander.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Not?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that?
They're not going to do that, so it's 1 counter. The next turn, 1 counter. Next turn, 1 counter. Next turn, 1 counter. That's 4 counters for just having a Soul Warden, which is also a budget bomb.
Yeah, and it really pairs well with Heliod's Intervention and also Benevolent Offering. With that is just like GG. They're just dead.
Yeah, Benevolent Offering, yeah, like you said, that is completely insane. Like, you're going to, if you just have Nitpicking Paragon. Just have that. You're going to make 3 9/9 flyers and a huge Nitpicking Paragon to go with it.
Yeah, it also pairs really well with Extort, and I mean, we could go on forever, but those are some of the main ones you should look out for. And if you're in a life gain deck, this is a solid finisher. So let's go to blue. There's only one here. It's a combo Nrace Master Wizard, 71 cents. It's a 4-mana wizard that basically dual caster mages something when it enters, copy a spell. And also Ghostly Flicker, which is 67 cents, and that says 2 and a blue, exile 2 artifacts, creatures, lands, and then they return them to the battlefield. They're both passable magic cards. If you have other ETBs, Ghostly Flicker is going to be fine. And if you have other spells to cast, Nrace is going to be fine. None of them are that crazy. But together, you cast Ghostly Flicker, targeting, who cares? But when it's on the stack, you flash in Nrace, copy the spell. Now she's in play, and you have still one spell on the stack and now one copy. The copy is going to target the original spell that's Ghostly Flicker, which then flickers Nrace and a land. Oh, she's back. Another trigger. Still the original on the stack. So put another new one above it and flicker her and any permanent you want infinite times.
Yeah, and this works really well. But I think something that's interesting about this is funny to me. Ghostly Flicker just combos with so much. It was one of the first bounce 2 things cards.
Yeah.
And we've seen a few since. It is the most broken one. It is the only one that combos with these kind of things because for some reason it hits lands.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't even know why it hits lands.
Wizards was like, hey, it needs to be able to hit a land.
Yeah.
for limited.
It's it does way more than any other one of these. Flicker is just actually a pretty strong card. Doubly, as long as you have some ETBs in your deck, and wizard decks tend to, and she is a wizard, then you're going to be able to use this to great effect by itself. Nahumea, that is not a great card. I'm probably not playing that if I'm not doing this combo overall, but the fact that Ghostly Flicker is playable by itself makes me want to put this in, because now, if I'm playing in a meta where people are going to be comboing, I also get to play a combo for under $1.
Yeah, even on a budget.
BZ, how many win cons from Standard have become win cons in Commander?
37.
37, exactly. And one of those 37 is Grey Merchant of Asphalt. It is 3 black for a 2/4, enters the battlefield. You drain each opponent, meaning they lose life equal to your devotion, and you gain not just the X life, where X is your devotion. No. You gain as much as was lost this way.
X times 3.
This card is absolutely stellar in Commander, and if you don't think it's a win con, I would argue that you haven't played it.
Reassess.
Yes.
Because flickers, reanimates, bounce to hand, recasting, regrowth. Oh my god, this card never only resolves once. That's why I hate it. Because it's so good.
Yeah, exactly. You play it once and you drain everybody for 7. You gain 21. That's already absurd life gain.
Especially in budget where your life total matters more than regular.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just gaining so much life in every reanimation spell. This is one of the best targets all the time. Mass reanimation. Having this come back with all your stuff is bonkers. This card is just so good. And it's a zombie. So throw it in your zombie deck. It's already a recursive deck. You're already playing Zombie Apocalypse. Throw it in there. I mean, if you don't, Grey Merchant of Asphalt, its conversion rate in number of games won might be one of the highest for an individual card in all of Commander.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to get this back, even that are pretty cheap. I know Incarnation Technique isn't very expensive. Even if you have an Animate Dead in your trade binder, great, you can play Victimize. There's plenty of stuff. This thing's not going away. It's super annoying.
Wait, hold on. You want to hear something gross with Incarnation Technique? So with Incarnation Technique, you can cast it, get back Gary. You're playing a black deck, so we're going to sacrifice Gary with the second one still on the stack.
Ugh.
Do it again and reanimate Gary again.
Just get 2 triggers.
Just get 2 Gary triggers for whatever your devotion was on the field.
Okay, that's pretty good. Marionette Master is the next one. It's 35 cents. This is your artifact, aristocrat, just slam dunk game ender. It's a 6-mana 1/3, or when it enters, you can make 3 servos or have it be a 4/6. And when an artifact you control dies, it domes somebody for X, where X is its power, which could be 4.
This card is really good, and the fact that you can make its power 4 is what makes this card good. You can also augment this power in other ways. It doesn't just have to be from itself pumping up from the Fabricate ability. No, you can choose to put counters on in any way possible. Maybe putting equipment on it, anything along those lines to get its power pumped up. And draining for 4 each time is a lot. Who's in the lead? Go 4, 4, 4, 4. You're dead. You're out of here. Get out of my game. And now you have 2 players to deal with, but you already killed the player who's in the lead, so you're probably in the lead now.
The one card that makes me just like giggle with happiness is cranial plating. I want to put cranial plating on Marionette Master and just sacrifice 1 artifact because someone's dead.
Yeah, I think like an Akiri Armix deck is like the kind of deck that would play that. Like,
yeah, that budget tune-up we did, that deck is sweet.
Yeah, exactly. It would work so well, and I think it's absolutely awesome. Marionette, like you said, Marionette Master, absolutely great finisher in your aristocratic. Very specific deck type. Like you thought Life Game earlier was specific.
Yeah, artifact aristocrats. People, get on it. This next one is good if you have a bunch of dummies laying around. It's Pontiff of Blight, 4 black for a 2/7. It's got extort, cool. But all your other creatures, they also have extort. So every card you cast is a weird fireball that gains you a bunch of life. If I want to cast, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. Wayfarer's Bauble, when I have 6 creatures in play, well, then I'm going to drain each opponent for 6 and gain 18 life if I want.
This card just ends up weaponizing all of your extra mana, which is so awesome. Play a 1-drop. Okay, I have 6 creatures. Okay, drain everyone for 6. I'll gain 18 because Extort is a great ability, and we'll just be in a great place. You just take any extra mana you had and you turn it into damage to your opponents.
Yeah, this isn't the fastest one. It's probably the slowest one on here, but I still want to mention it because if you don't answer it, you're going to die.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You have to answer it or you'll die.
This next one is sort of tested, tried and true. I had a budget Savella deck that you may or may not see very soon, but Terror of Mount Velus is in that deck, and it's 48 cents. It's a 7-mana 5/5 with flying and double strike, and then when it enters, your guys gain double strike. This is a great one to flash in sometimes because it's like, oops, you're dead. But if you just slam this and then attack with your big dumb Gruul army or mono red army, you're going to kill somebody. It's almost guaranteed.
I mean,
so much.
This card is huge. It hits so hard. All you need to do is assemble an army of like 4 or 5 threats. And like you're in the decks you're playing this in, you're going to be able to do that.
You got beef. And trample is good too.
You're going to be in a beefy deck with tons of creatures. You're probably Gruul stomping, most likely. And then you just slam this. Double striking all your creatures is a great way to push them through. And like you said, combine it with any creature with trample, like a Golta. Golta is like a pretty cheap card, but it's not. I don't think it's under $1. But do that, Golta. That's a 24 life swing by itself.
I mean, I was throwing Breaker of Armies at people. It's a 10/8, and then you give it trample. It's like, all right, we're done here.
Yeah, I mean, the Breaker of Armies is ridiculous.
That card actually not very bad. I mean, that almost can be like an honorable little budget bomb. It's like 4 cents, but that card's been pretty good.
Yeah, surprisingly, like that card reads like butts. I mean,
it's got
like,
1 sentence on it.
What kind of Eldrazi is this? I mean, have you seen the other ones? The Ulamog's really good.
Yeah, Ulamog. That's our other option. We have done 2 parts to this WinCon Budget Bomb series. This is also in the first part, but it is such a must-have in your green decks that you slam dunk, Urson, that we're gonna mention it again. It's Nrace Forerunners. They're 53 cents. They're 8 mana. They're 7/7. They're Vigilance, Haste, and then they're gonna give everything +2/+2 and Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. I was trying to think of the last word.
I think this is an absolute slam dunk as a budget WinCon. If you think my deck would be great with Crater of Behemoth, but I can't afford it, this is the way to go. Is it worse? A lot worse, but that's not the point. It's under $1.
Yes.
And it does a fine impression at that price.
It's kind of, there's like a little scale because this is the very lowest that you can get for like a reliable overrun effect on a creature. Crater Rift's the highest, and in the middle you have like that Earthshaker giant card, which is actually decent. It's just overrun on a stick. That card's cool, but it's more expensive. So this is like the cheapest. You go wide enough, they're still dead. You go tall enough, they're still dead. You can still get games closed with this for 53 cents.
I think the card I'd put in the middle, actually, instead of Earthshaker Giant, I'd just put, Overwhelming Stampede. I think
that's even, you know what, now there's 4.
You know what, it's a weird scale. There's 4. Nrace Forerunners, though, 53 cents.
This next one for green, if you got +1/+1 counters, all these cards are going to go in your deck anyway, and I think this is going to just make your deck way better at closing. We have Ivy Lane Denizen for 15 cents. 4 mana 2/3. Whenever a green creature enters under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Now that just goes infinite with either Scurry Oak, which says whenever it gets a counter, make a 1/1, which will then trigger Ivy Lane Denizen to put a counter on something. Put it on Scurry Oak, get a 1/1. Put a counter on Scurry Oak, get a 1/1, and you can stop whenever you want. So go infinite and then just put it somewhere else. Or Herd Bailoff, which is the same exact thing, but for 4/4s.
Yeah, so both these cards will make infinite power, toughness, creatures, make however. Actually, it's not infinite. It's whatever number you want. You get to choose the number you want.
You make a bajillion things.
Yes.
All three of these cards combined are still under $1. This is like such a nice, reliable, slam dunk, shut the door on the game combo for +1/+1 counters deck.
Yeah, these they just work very well. All these cards are individually fine. Like you said, you will just throw them in your +1/+1 counters deck, especially on a budget, and you'll be happy to have them in your deck. And then as soon as you draw Ivy Lane Denali with one of the other two, you'll be like, well, I guess I'll just make 10 million power.
Yeah, depending on what your deck is. There's other cards that can go infinite, like Cathar's Crusade does, but I think that one just like stalls the game.
That one, yeah, you think you're right. I believe
You can't stop it.
the game ends in the draw because you.
So if you have like a sack outlet or something, you could do that.
Yeah, but if you don't,
This is just so much easier and so much cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, this is cheaper, easier, and monocolored.
Right. If my budget deck can sometimes go, hey, here's infinite creatures, go, then I'm really happy about that because that's not a budget thing.
Up next is actually like a group of cards. There's like 3 cards in this little group that I'll just all do the same thing. It's Wake the Past, Brilliant Restoration, and the other one is
Triumphant Reckoning?
Triumphant Reckoning. There's 3 of them, and they all just basically do the same thing. They return all your artifacts mainly to the battlefield. Wake the Past is just artifacts. They gain haste. Brilliant Restoration is artifacts and enchantments. And
Reckoning is Planeswalkers too, and enchantments.
Yeah, Planeswalkers, enchantments, and artifacts. Return them all to the battlefield. This is really just pretty good. There are a ton of ways, especially in red, to start drawing, discarding, get my graveyard filled with artifacts and bring them all back at once and just win. Replenish is a strong effect. We know Replenish is a strong effect, and this is it for artifacts. And, well, Brilliant Restoration actually does it for artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah, Brilliant Restoration. What a efficient, I thought Triumphant Reckoning was kind of where you had to be, but we just shaved 2 mana off of it. Forget the pips. It'll be okay, especially if you're only in 1 or 2 colors. Man, I just want to put Perpetual Timepiece in all these decks because I'm milling my deck, put artifacts in the graveyard, and then just slam them all. It's like a zombie apocalypse or an Angel of Glory's Rise, but for artifacts. Replenish, all that stuff. They are all game winners. You just put 1,000 triggers on the stack. Everything that ever died, plus more, is now here to deal with all at the same time.
Yeah, it's just insane. I mean, it's really crazy how much these cards just end up in wins. I mean, we talked about Living Death. We've talked about all these type of things for creatures. It is just as good for artifacts. I mean, like we said, I mentioned Replenish because it is comparable in a lot of ways. A Replenish for artifact is insanely, insanely strong.
Yeah, Wake the Past, 20 cents. Brilliant Restoration, 32 cents. Triumphant Reckoning is probably like I think it's 75 cents.
I think it is 75 cents.
It's the worst one. We got 2 more. This one is a little critical mass combo for you friends out there. Renegade Railier. That's whenever I see that card, I just go, all right, that thing probably needs to stay off the battlefield. It's 18 cents and it's a 3-mana 3/2. If a permanent left under your control this turn, it enters and brings back a permanent mana cost 2 or less. And we have one of those. It's Angelic Renewal, 23 cents. Whenever one of your creatures dies, you can sacrifice Angelic Renewal to just bring that thing right back. So when we have a creature die or we fetch or something, Renegade Railier is going to die. Then we're going to say, oh, let's sacrifice Renewal, bring it back. And then it goes, okay, cool. How about I bring back this Renewal? And if I throw in a sack outlet like Viscerous here, which is like 24 cents, I now can sacrifice infinitely.
Yeah, you just need any sack outlet. It doesn't really matter. You want to pay it off in some way, obviously. Throwing in Zulapur Cutthroat again is going to be the way to just pay this off and turn it into a victory. But ultimately, you have an infinite loop that you repeat over and over again. You just need some way to turn it into win.
Yeah, this is an Abzan color combination if you're going to be on like a super strict budget. But if you can go up like a couple dollars, you can easily get it down to just green-white with like Fanatical Devotion or Spawning Pit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. There might be a cheap one. I mean, free sack outlets are actually pretty premium in price. And last, but certainly not least, we have Death to the Deathless. This card adds up really fast. It's like 5 mana, deal 2. Oh, that sucks. 6 mana, deal 4 to everyone. That's not very good. But then everything after that is in absolutely insane numbers. And if you're playing in a budget game, those go in the leader's turns where you can easily have 10 mana, 12 mana.
60 cents. And I like comparing this to Exsanguinate. I've never been a fan of Exsanguinate. Even like if that card was 5 cents, I'd probably still play Death to the Deathless over it in an Orzhov deck. But the first few Exsanguinate numbers are better. But then Death to the Deathless, as you get up to like 8 mana plus, just totally runs away and like is such a better rate. And what are we casting Exsanguinate for like 5? Not really. We're just trying to kill people with this. hey, chipped him down, got a bunch of extort triggers, got the game going. You know, they attacked each other. Slam this, try to drain everybody for like 20.
Yeah, this outscales Exsanguinate very, very, very fast.
You're not exsanguinating for 20.
Yeah, exactly. This card is strong, and like you just throw all your extra mana into it. You hold it until the end of the game. You let everyone get low because you're again. We've been playing a lot of lower power games, and budget tends to be lower power games. You're going to life totals just whittle down. They just slowly go down. Everybody's taking damage over the game, and suddenly a Deathless is killing 1 or 2 players. You're gaining a ton of life, and then you're just left 1-on-1.
That last player is just like, oh,
that last
70
player
life.
Also just got drained for 10.
Right, you're at like 70.
Exactly, and you're like, oh, now I have to kill this man.
I mean, this Death to the Deathless, Grave Merchant, and Nyx Bloom guy, Nyx soldier thing, all go in the same deck.
That's true. You can just have all the life gain theme and just, hey, look at all my life gain / win cons. But that is our video. Special shout outs to every single one of our patrons. Love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. Thank you guys for the support.
We appreciate you. You can do support a lot of ways. You can go to TCG Player, you can buy some cards, but you were going to buy them anyway. So all you have to do is start with a link when you buy, and TCG Player gives us money without charging you any extra money. Same
Cards, same price, same place. You make it, it's actually a good saying, and then you just make it cringy by doing that. That is cringy.
Like a yawn / gag all the way over what you said.
Yeah, that's the cringy part, not what I'm saying.
Let us know in the comments which one is worse. What about Dragon Shield?
DragonShield.com. You can go there and buy the best sleeves in the multiverse.
Good sleeves.
And if you start with our link in the description below, you'll be buying them for the same exact price, but the nerds will be getting a kickback, and we would appreciate that very much.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Sounds like an amazing deal. Well, now we have to do some shout-outs.
5 special humans to share with you. The first one is Max Ventilla.
Hi, Max. How are you doing today? We also have Garrett Schroeder.
Got magic on the brain?
What did I say?
Garrick,
yeah. His name is not Garrick. It's Garrett.
Milan Sarik, I think. We're going to go with that, and we appreciate you either way, no matter how it's pronounced.
Also, probably my favorite name from today, and it's tough for me to get beat, Lo-Fi Vibes.
Love some lo-fi every now and again. You turn it on during Commander Night and just chill the whole time.
No, we listen to 2001's terrible rap.
Or country.
Oh, God, not the country.
That'll be our tidbit. But we got Jonathan Bird as the final shout-out, and we would never give you the bird, Jonathan Bird. We love you. Time for the tidbit about our lives, where we share something that has nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. We've been putting on some Spotify playlists when we play Commander. You got people over. You throw on top hits of pick a year. And for some reason, I feel like, the first 25 songs, like everything you'd expect. It's like, oh, yeah, this Mariah Carey song. Oh, this Eminem song. All this stuff that was popular. And then once you get like 4 hours in, you're going to start hearing just country. It's like country songs you've never heard, and it's just never going to stop. And then you're going to have to change the playlist.
Yeah, I don't like country music. I find it almost insulting to because it feels like it's pandering.
Like paint by numbers, kind of? It depends on the country. There's like different styles, obviously.
All of the biggest country stars
Yeah.
are flying around in private jets. They are living a luxury life, and this is fine. There's nothing wrong with getting rich and famous and living the best life you can. But then they write a song about going out on their tractor.
Dirt roads. I've never even seen a dirt road.
It's like I'm gonna oh yeah, I definitely own a ranch that I never go to. It's like
that's almost the Bo Burnham line.
Is it?
Where he says, "I own a private ranch that I rarely use."
It's just that's how it always feels, and it just no country song feels genuine. Are some of them genuine? Of course, some of them are, but mixed in there is your Luke Bryan.
He calls it stadium country.
I don't believe any Luke Bryan song is genuine at all.
I hate when they just start listing things that exist but are associated with country, like
fishing,
jeans and sports and like beer and certain types of women, like cars. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, anyway, if you're not a country fan, beware when you go to Spotify. Music is obviously for whoever wants to enjoy it, but you're going to get a bunch of country that you've never heard of.
You are allowed to enjoy your Luke Bryants, but I'm allowed to poop on your Luke Bryan. So,
my Luke Bryan.
I respect that you like Luke Bryan, but I think Luke Bryan is absolute garbage. I'm just going to stick with him. There are many, I'm probably the stadium country, like you just described the Bo Burnham term, that those people, there are plenty of them, but Luke Bryan's the one that comes to my head. He sucks. Peace out, Tribe Scouts.
Sorry.